This is Arts Alive. I'm Linda Philippi, and my guests today are Darron Melton and Dwight Evalt, and they're here from Carlton to talk about the new gallery and their work. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you could be here today. So, Darron, why don't we start with you, and let's talk about this exciting new gallery.
Well, I got started just before Thanksgiving last year and wanted to focus on local Oregon artists, basically around the Carlton area, and also to showcase my photography work. And I was on the Art Harvest tour with my son through school last year and met a lot of the artists, and everything kind of came together, and made several phone calls, got artists together, and just went for it. And thankfully, Dwight has been a big help and inspiration as well. I have actually half my gallery is his work.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, it's nice to have an artist who's prolific.
Yeah, it's nice to actually have a gallery in town that'll show really good work, and I think that Darron's doing a great job.
And of course, you are a local artist.
Yes,
I mean,
I'm very local. I live in Carlton.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you've had a lot of support from the people who've known you for years because you taught, right?
Yeah. I've had a lot of encouragement from people, and I'm hoping that they're coming into your gallery. Some of them I'm sure have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been good.
You know, I mean, the last few years have been sort of challenging, you know, the recession and all that. So I think it's great that you, I guess, found the courage and resources to say, I'm going to take this big leap now, because a lot of people would probably say, you are nuts. You know, people aren't buying art or whatever. So
It's been a leap of faith.
I think that's great. Yeah.
You're here ready for the upswing, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, I am prepared.
And you know, I mean, I've talked to so many people in different, I guess, different industries, and everybody seems to think that the worm's turned, as my old boss used to say, and that things are really coming around. So this might be you might be poised in just the right place at just the right moment. You were there for the Thanksgiving weekend?
Yes, things were good through Christmas. It's been a little slow since then, but that's kind of the norm.
That's life.
January.
Yeah, the story of January, right.
But we're looking forward to some upcoming events, some wine tastings, and I have a brewery, get that out, that's looking to do a tasting as well. So
Oh, really?
something a little different than wine.
Well, you know, I think that's really fun. And I love wine, but I guess I have to say I also love beer. You know, what don't I love? But I have a friend, and she says, you know, it's always wine, wine, wine. Why is it ever beer in art? Because I guess she's allergic. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I met through the Carlton Business Association, which I just joined, and there's a local brewmaster, and
Really?
got talking with him, and I'm going to display some art at their tasting room and have a tasting at my gallery.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
Hopefully, we're looking at the first time just before Valentine's Day.
I was going to ask you if you're doing something special for Valentine's Day, because I know this show should be coming out the week prior to Valentine's Day. So, yeah, great.
Yeah, but I've talked with some other local, vineyard owners, and doing some wine tastings as well. So it's kind of up in the air as to when, but certainly to coincide with other Carlton events.
Sure, especially as spring and summer come on, and the season really gets in full swing when people are out and about more too. Yeah. I guess we can be happy we don't live in the Midwest or something right now.
Right now, yes, for sure.
Had enough
Or anytime.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about you a little, Dwight. What kind of art do you do?
I do mostly very abstract art, non-objective work, and I paint and I do sculpture, wood carving, and some pottery as well. And I also do some stone carving, and I work with a lot of different materials in my work. So when I'm painting, I paint with oils. I also mix other media with it as well. So one painting might have 5 or 6 media in
Oh,
it,
how interesting. Okay. And I know maybe a little bit later on we'll be seeing some images, so maybe you can kind of point out which ones, when we get there. But what got you into art?
I've been studying art my entire life, I think, since I was a little kid.
That's what you taught?
That's what I taught, as well. But I taught for 15 years in high school, and I've been doing art my whole life. I have a BFA from the Art Institute of Chicago from a long time ago, And
It still counts.
It still counts. Still counts, and MA from New York University in
Wow,
studio art.
okay.
I've been studying and doing more work, and my artwork got to a point where I just wanted to stop teaching and create the art, and see where that could take me, and that's what I'm doing.
So it's time to stop nurturing other people and start nurturing yourself, huh?
Well, I don't really think of it as necessarily nurturing myself. It's just really kind of following what I want to do, you know. But it's been really interesting because as you start to focus more on your work, you actually start to notice that it changes, gets better, and your thinking becomes a little bit more clear, and it's nice. Concentrate.
Well, I think when, whatever you're doing, once you're able to do it, devote yourself to it wholeheartedly, your energy goes there instead of whatever's left over at the end of a long day of working. And
Right.
And teaching's especially demanding because you have so many other, people clamoring for your attention. So for you, in terms of shifting from maybe photography to being a businessman, what's that like?
Well, it's new to me. I've done photography most of my life and wanted to have my own business. It's been a dream for many years, and just about a year ago, my wife and I thought about it seriously, and we moved back from Nevada to Oregon. We were talking about it, and she encouraged me to, follow my dream, and we found a building that was available, and jumped in head first, and been going at it ever since.
I think that's so exciting.
Trying to just build the business.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's kind of like that,
Yeah, we're keeping our fingers crossed. And, the word's getting around, though. And we've had a lot of foot traffic come through and repeat business. So
I would imagine that, being where you are, in Carlton and having some of these local connections, that you've probably had no trouble attracting artists.
no, I get new people coming in quite frequently and saying, "Oh, I've got this and this," and I'm also have talked with the high school teacher in Carlton or Yam Hill,
Replacement,
and
Yeah.
her Dwight's replacement, and talked with her about having art students display some of their work in my gallery as well.
Oh, I think
That'd be
that's
really
great.
great.
And I did have a student come by just a couple days ago, and I have one of her paintings up there. So it's kind of
Great.
things are evolving as we go along. I'm getting more, a variety of artwork, not just pigeonholed into one type of thing. So
It's one of the nice things about kind of a gallery like that, especially for people that are just kind of passing into town. They don't need to be intimidated by, it's a art gallery. You're not supposed to walk in there. You are supposed to walk in there. That's what it's for. It's
Yes,
for the public, and that's true of any art gallery. But people tend to be intimidated by it a little bit, I think. But they really don't need to worry about it at all. It's free. Walk
yeah,
in.
it's free to come
Sure.
in, browse. I wanted to have it casual. I don't want to, the stereotype, snooty type gallery, but that's why I have a variety of things from, cards for a couple dollars to paintings and such up to several hundreds of dollars.
So, I mean, you're appealing to everybody from, like, sort of maybe the more casual shopper, perhaps, who's out wine tasting and says, "Oh my gosh, I love that," to
yes.
somebody who's seriously looking for something.
Yeah, we have gifts,
Sure.
jewelry, odds and ends of things. Anywhere. I'm tying into the wine market as well, being that we are in Carlton. So
I think that's a good idea.
kind of jumped on that boat. But
See, personally, I think you could probably make a lot of money just selling corkscrews for all the people that forget theirs or lose them or drop them.
that's true.
Something embellished with the name of your gallery. Well, do we want to maybe have Paul show us a few of the pictures?
Well, certainly.
Okay. Well, maybe he'll just roll those in a minute.
It's possible.
We'll see.
Okay.
So, Darron.
This is, let's see, a flower that you know the name of quite well. I was up in Portland with my family, and we were out just taking photos just because. So I have lots of wildlife pictures, along with a variety of landscapes and things I've taken over last summer. And when we moved here, I was growing up, spent a lot of time in the desert in Nevada. So I was missing the ocean, so we went there quite a bit. But this is a wood duck that actually is in Hawaii, of all places. And
No lay, though.
Wood duck?
No, sorry.
Is that a wood duck and koi? Did I see a
And
koi?
there was a koi in the photo too that I didn't realize until I got.
This looks like one of my former husband's old rigs.
An old truck that we found outside of McMinnville up in the hills and had rose bushes growing up in the back of it. And it just caught my eye. I like old vehicles.
I think that's cool.
The style of that.
That's beautiful.
This was about 4 in the morning, actually. This is a sunrise. I was out hunting ducks, but took my camera along.
The wood ducks of Hawaii?
No, this is in Nevada.
Just kidding.
I know. But,
Okay.
so, and this is a Oregon sunset around the Cannon Beach area.
That's beautiful.
Just vivid colors. And of course, Haystack Rock, and got the reflection there. And wasn't as many people out about that day, so trying to get
That's
some good
unusual,
photos,
actually,
so.
on a nice day like that.
Yeah. So, this is one of my more popular shots. It's a hazelnut orchard just outside of McMinnville on Highway 18. People comment on it a lot, and it's one of my best-selling
Really?
photographs so far. So,
That's beautiful.
and there we
Right.
are.
Yeah,
Okay.
very nice.
I thought he was going to show some other photos.
I,
Maybe later.
I brought along some photos of the gallery itself.
Okay, well, we'll see if he's got a few of those. If a few of those pop up. If not, well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it'll be okay anyway.
So you got your start in photography in the Navy, you said?
Pretty much, on the professional side of it. I wanted to be a photographer, and they said I was overqualified, which was good in a way. And I did journalism class in school and was on the newspaper, so I went into photojournalism as well. So not only did I get to take my own photographs, but I wrote stories and did video production as well. So I got a well-rounded, kind of background.
That's really. Did you do a lot of traveling? I mean, did you go all over documenting Navy life, or?
Yes, I was on a small aircraft carrier, and we traveled to Asia and Australia. And so that was fun. I got to go all over, take photos, get paid for it. So
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
You must
it
have
was
got to see
exciting.
quite a bit of the world that way. And then, but when your time was up, you were over it. You were through.
I was okay with leaving the Navy after 5 years, and got into video production with a couple small production companies in Reno, and stayed there for 20-some years and doing production. And
Really?
so it's been an ongoing career for me.
And then, so you, like you said earlier before we started, that you're usually always behind the camera, not in front of the camera.
Yes, I feel more comfortable behind the camera. So.
So, I mean, are you still doing any of that, any video production work at all?
Not since I moved back to Oregon, but there's a possibility. I've talked to another one of my artists, Mike Santenay. actually.
Oh, yeah, he does a lot.
He's twisting my arm and wanted me to do some work for him. So
Good.
I kind of miss it from time to time.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, Mike and Liz are pretty amazing. They pull together all kinds of great shows with artists and things like that. I know
Yeah,
they've been there with some of them that they've filmed, and it's great. They can go out on location,
Oh, yeah.
see things like that. Sure.